when anxiety was great within me. A message from the book of Psalms. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. Psalm 94-19. There is something powerful about a verse that doesn't pretend. This verse does not say, when I had peace, when I had answers, when everything worked out. It says, when anxiety was great within me. Not small anxiety, not manageable anxiety, not occasional worry, but great anxiety. This verse gives language to what many people feel but struggle to confess. Today's message is for the person who smiles but feels overwhelmed inside. The believer who loves God but still battles anxiety. The one who prays yet still feels heavy. Psalm 94-19 does not shame anxiety. It reveals where God meets us in it. Psalms 94-19 says, when anxiety was great within me. Notice where the anxiety is located. Not around me, not outside me, within me. Anxiety is often invisible. People may not see it. Church may not notice it. Family may not understand it. But God sees within. This verse proves something important. You can be deeply spiritual and deeply anxious at the same time. Anxiety is not evidence that your faith is fake. It is often evidence that your heart has been carrying too much alone. David doesn't hide it. He names it. Because healing begins where honesty lives. Many Christians secretly feel guilty for being anxious. They think, if I really trusted God, I wouldn't feel like this. But the Bible is filled with anxious people like David, Elijah, Jeremiah, Job, and even Jesus, his last days. Faith does not cancel emotions. Faith gives you somewhere to take them. Anxiety comes when the future feels uncertain, when control slips from your hands, when waiting lasts longer than expected, and when pain doesn't have clear meaning. God never asked you to be emotionless. He asked you to be dependent. Great anxiety requires great consolation. The Bible verse says, when anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me so much joy. Not small comfort, not surface encouragement, not quick motivation. It required God's consolation. Human comfort has limits. Advice runs out. Distractions fade, motivation expires, but God's consolation is different. Consolation means God drawing near, God soothing the soul, God reassuring the heart. It is not God removing the problem immediately. It is God strengthening you inside the problem. God does not silence, but He comforts. David also expressed deep anxiety in Psalm 139-23. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. God does not tell David, stop feeling anxious. He responds with consolation. This tells us something beautiful. God does not scold wounded hearts. He heals them. God doesn't say, get it together. He says, come closer. Some of you don't need answers right now. You need assurance. Assurance that you're not abandoned. You're not forgotten. You're not weak for feeling this way. David says, your consolation brought me joy. Not just consolation, God's consolation. God does not comfort everyone the same way. He knows how to reach your heart. Sometimes consolation comes through a scripture that suddenly speaks, a song that breaks you, a quiet moment in prayer, or a sense of peace you can't explain. God's consolation meets you where words fail. The verse illustrates anxiety to joy. Anxiety does not disappear instantly. Circumstances are not mentioned. The situation may still be unresolved, but something shifts inside. The verse says, your consolation brought me joy. Joy here is not happiness. Joy is inner stability. Joy says, this hurts, but I'm held. This is heavy, but I'm not alone. This is uncertain, but God is faithful. Joy is not denial. Joy is trust, resting in God. Anxiety floods the mind with noise. Thoughts spiral. Fear multiplies. God's consolation does not argue with every thought. It anchors the heart. When God consoles you, fear loses its grip. Panic loses authority. Worry loses volume. Let God console your heart in times of anxiety.